burns versus the media.
You see, I don't watch TV very often or listen to the radio unless it's forced on me.
It's just that now the way everything's suffering from overstimulus, like there's too many TV channels, there's not too many radio stations actually. If you're not highly visible, people tend to say, well, what have you been doing? You know, thinking that you've been destitute under Charing Cross Bridge in a cardboard box or something like that.
You were only joking when you said there was too many TV stations, of course.
Well, there's kind of, I mean, there's too many videos and things going on.
Okay.
Well, that's very nice. I mean, I do, with the internet situation, because I've got some letters handed to me by what I consider people with no life, because they're saying, you've let us down, you don't reply to us on the internet. I don't use it. I'm not interested in the fucking internet. I just think anybody who's consumed by the internet, they must have very little else to do. I mean, I'm not even consumed by newspapers and magazines, you know, so the internet, I'm not going to sit, you know, reading crap and lies and stuff that go on the internet and good things and bad things. It makes no difference to me. Okay, it's a communication thing, it's a bit like pen pals, but if they want the articles, that's nice, but I don't care. I didn't read a single thing that was written about me, and to this day, I don't own a computer, and I don't look on the websites, and I don't look on what the gossip columnists are writing, so it couldn't bother me because I wasn't aware of it.
You know, we haven't got enough red carpet to fit all the celebrities on these days, because I don't really read the magazines, but lately I've actually started because Michael gets them, and I'm looking at them thinking, who's that, what have they done, who's that, what have they done? I don't really understand it, or why people would want it.
You had fantastic publicity. Was it intentional?
Yeah.
Put the band on the map?
Well, we waited around without using the usual mediums of publicity because we thought we'd try and be clever.
Yeah.
And I think we were a bit too clever, and then we decided we'd waited around long enough, we had to go for it, and we did. It's quite easy to manipulate things like newspapers and the Sun and, you know, sensationalistic press, which we did. We used them, abused them now.
You don't give a damn?
No, not really.
Because, of course, there was a big thing about you and George, wasn't there?
Oh, that was just them, you know how it is in pop. I mean, look at Prince and Michael Jackson now, they're comparing them. I mean, you know, there's more than mascara, one makes you the same, isn't there, you know, and they just think, you know, a bit of makeup must be the same. You know how it is.
Yeah.
What I actually think is that, you know, like in the old days when I used to read stuff you said about me, I used to think it was hysterical. I mean, I used to kind of like snap back immediately, but it used to make me laugh. I never really got offended. It used to just sort of quite excite me, actually.
Oh, you know, I really, honestly, I'm not saying that because I'm opposite you here. I wish I hadn't bitten the bait, because you know when you're sitting with a journalist, they will antagonise you on a subject, and then eventually you buckle and you say something and it goes in print and it's repeated forever.
But I always feel if you've got something to say that's bitchy, as long as it's funny, it's cool.
Particularly a lot of the American bands make videos that detract from the music. They have models running around in bikinis that have no relevance to the song whatsoever. It's only a distraction. So people don't really know what they've listened to. It's just a pleasing visual image, and they buy the record because it's a form of brainwashing. I think that your video should be very, very simple and only enhance and not detract from the song.
Will you do me a favour? Because this is like brainwashing, because this is what you've suffered all your lives. Brainwashing, right? I want to hear you shout, freedom, 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 because my voice is going on.
It was just like brainwashing. I think everything in modern culture has become complete brainwashing. I think computers are brainwashing. I think TVs are brainwashing, because you're so riveted to celebrity news and celebrity gossip and celebrity magazines that you don't go out and live a life. And I think the general public are being controlled by media brainwashing, and I'm certainly not controlled by media brainwashing. One, I'm not interested, and two, I refuse to be controlled by it. I like to do my own thing, and I can genuinely say that I'm not interested.
It's an image thing, isn't it? And I'm sure you know, working in TV, or maybe not the areas that I've worked in, that it's new to me. And people kind of create a role, and before you know it, it's all in the edit. I mean, I did not enjoy watching back Wife Swap in the least, because it didn't make any sense. None of the rule changes were there, and ultimately they weren't our rule changes. So it's a bit like doing reality TV, but it's not real.
So if I did experience any hostility, it was possibly in the media, but as I've said earlier, really, I don't read anything that's written about me because I'm not interested. So I don't even own an iPod.
If I go and work out at the gym, I don't do it to music. I do it in relative silence. Actually, I do hear music at the gym sometimes because it's on the TV screen, but I manage to zone it out. And everyone says, oh, you got to get an iPod. I don't want an iPod. I've been given iPods and I've given them away. So music, I'm just not that passionate about it. It's just something that I do. I'm not very good at selling what I do because once I've done it, it's over and it's up to the public to decide. I don't agree with brainwashing and I don't agree with the promotional circuit that's necessary. When you make a record, the record should be enough because at the end of the day, the record is all that's for sale. It's not about making yourself a popular character or an interesting character or how good your video is. Video is a separate entity to the music. The music is the music and that should be all that people want, but they don't because the media, they want more. They want a character they like. They want a role model. They want someone with views that they can share. They want to know about your lifestyle. And for the life of me, I cannot understand why they would. I think there's more things to be interested in, like day-to-day life and getting on with life.
Audience, if I had my way, I would never do any interviews, never go in the press, never go on TV and talk because I'm a singer. So my views and my opinions are private and for me.
Should know their magazines cannot affect my self-esteem.